This is David with High Performance Stoicism. I want to talk to you about one Stoic definition of wisdom. In a previous video, I talked about how wisdom is not experience for the Stoics, but what is wisdom then? The Stoics have a clear view of what wisdom is, and they have two definitions of wisdom. I'm only going to talk about one of them today. So, in their view, wisdom is knowledge of human and divine affairs. Now, there's a question that's likely to come to your mind at this point. Okay, I understand how wisdom is knowledge of human affairs, but how is wisdom knowledge of divine affairs? And I think in this area, most of us are going to disagree with the Stoics. And even looking at their writing, you're going to raise some good questions about this claim of theirs. The Stoics believe there are some things that they knew about God and the gods, and they say a number of things about this being, but you might doubt whether they really had knowledge of it, and they don't say as much as you would like them to say, given their claim that it's something to know. Seneca says something really important about the Stoic approach to God. He talks about how we should be trying to find out what the actual shape of God is like. We could put it in another way. What are all the properties of God? And they believe that if someone was wise, they would know these things. Well, we do have a bit of a sketch, but this seems to be a trickier thing from our perspective than for the Stoics. But so I think a lot of us would agree, well, it's more promising, it seems, to look at knowledge of human affairs. And I would agree with that. But what does it mean to have knowledge of human affairs? Okay, so let's step back for a second. Keep in mind, knowledge is the most important thing you could have in life ever. It's what all of you are aiming for by studying Stoicism. So, what does it mean to have knowledge of human affairs? Here's, I think, the best way to understand this. One thing you are going to know is human nature. And the way that we learn the most about human nature is, aside from watching other people and watching their behavior and trying to figure it out, knowing ourselves. But it's not just a matter of self examination, it's not just a matter of introspection. It's knowing yourself, your inner workings, based on the correct view of human nature and especially human psychology. The Stoics have a distinct and definite view of human psychology, and it has to do with their special view of reason and the importance of reason for what makes us believe things, what acts we take, and probably most importantly, the kinds of emotions that we can either have or stop having. We're talking about destructive emotions. And so, knowing yourself through this model of human psychology is a big part of what they mean by knowing human nature. And the way we learn the most is by working on our own minds, by following Stoicism and watching, okay, by doing as the Stoics say in this or that situation, with regard to a problem of anger, with regard to temptation, with regard to fear, that's where we're really going to learn the most about human nature. It's all about know thyself. Now, here is where things get really interesting because once you start to know more about yourself on this Stoic model of human psychology, you're going to be able to see what other people are doing in a better and more accurate light by using that same model. And once you start to see that you're more insightful about what's going on with a given person, your confidence in this model will pick up. And so let's go back to the exact wording again. Knowledge of human affairs, we're thinking about as a basis, knowledge of yourself, extending that knowledge to other people, both of these under the Stoic account of human psychology. And then you can start to figure out human affairs, how things work with two people or even more people. What are the conditions for things to go well, and what are the conditions for things to go poorly? And once you have that general framework, then this can be applied to any number of situations. So, in their view, the Stoic sage, the Stoic wise man or wise person, this person is going to be able to understand what's going on with people in all manner of situations so that they know how best to act. That is a sign of wisdom. So, this view of wisdom is pretty interesting in the following respect. It's not something that is mysterious, it's not something that doesn't involve studying other people, it's not something that uh, you just have some kind of amazing insight at some point. It's something you build up over time. And one thing it helps you to do, it helps you to become an expert at dealing with other people, to become an expert at doing well at life. And it's one of the requirements of being a leader that you can understand other people, what's going on with them, why they're acting the way they are, and how people work in groups. So I think that gives you a good sketch of one part of the understanding of wisdom that the Stoics have based on their first definition. So I'd like you to think about that and think, okay, there's a kind of pattern here, starting with Stoic philosophy, moving to understanding yourself through it, and then understanding other people and how they interact. And then it's easy to see why they would believe this is what wisdom is. But that's just one definition. We'll get to the second definition in the next video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next video.